What's going on, guys? Dominic Gibbs here. Before this video starts, I just want to let you guys know, whoever I didn't tell this about, I'm sorry, now you're knowing. I am officially a brand ambassador of Easy Goal, and Easy Goal is literally exactly what you think it is. They make foldable hockey nets. They are durable with street hockey and real hockey pucks. I've been using mine for 2 months, almost 3 now. It's worked perfectly. There are no dents in the posts. The netting's great, doesn't budge, unless you don't put up the backstop like I haven't yet. But yeah, so I just want to let you guys know that. I'll leave links to their Instagram and their website down below if you want to get one yourself. I assume that everyone who's going to watch this video probably doesn't need one, but if you want to, or you want to buy one for your kids, if you're a parent, go ahead. I'm pretty sure they have a coupon code. I'll leave that in the description down below. But yeah, about to do some exciting things with them, so should be fun. Anyways, on with the video. One of the biggest reasons why people aren't affiliated with any sort of religious belief or any type of faith is simple. They don't believe what they can't see. You talk to an atheist, and they will tell you, more times than not, the reason why they do not believe in God is because they do not see him. They don't look at the trees or the grass or the fields or the sentient human beings that are physically walking and living this earth. They have to see God in order to believe in him. Because to them, all they're doing is just praying to someone who doesn't even exist. Now, I'm not saying that me making Davenport is even close to God. But there is a parallel between the two. So many people have looked at what I'm trying to do and they've called it impossible. They said it's never going to happen. And the reason why is because they don't see it. Not the fact that I'm not in a Davenport jersey. Obviously, that's not the reason why. They don't see the work that I'm putting in. They don't see the hundreds of shots that I take. They don't see me constantly writing down the weight that I just did on a set so that I can improve and get bigger. They don't see it. They don't see the bigger picture either. And that's fine. But that's not up for them to tell me. It's not up to them, who will probably never do anything noteworthy in their lives and will continue to live a life of relevancy with a girlfriend or boyfriend that they probably won't be with in the next 2 years. It's not up for them to tell me what I can and can't do. You know, it's funny. Back when I was super depressed in 11th grade, I would really just go to school, stay after to get a snack, go home, fall asleep, wake up, go right back to sleep. Maybe watch wrestling. And the thing that I didn't understand is, and I don't know when I realized this, through all the feeling like crap and never having the motivation to do anything, I understood that I had this little metaphorical flame, this little fire in me. And I never really understood where it came from. But that fire turned out to be fuel. It's kind of like when you pour gasoline on a fire. What's it going to do? It's going to expand. And the gasoline for me was being constantly lied to and constantly played and constantly trash talked by every single person I thought would ever be affiliated with me in the future. And that flame grew brighter and brighter and brighter. And I believe personally that it came to a head at 2 points. Last summer and this past year. At least at the final day of December. Because I'm fairly certain I released The Road to Davenport on the final day of December. I was screwed over and lied to by 2 people who I thought had my back. Who I thought would never lie to me. Now, the second one was more my fault. It had happened twice to me. I'm not going to lie. The one that happened in summer, it really, really messed with me. And it didn't mess with me to the point where you would see it. Because you'd never notice it. You never would. At least not with the videos that I was uploading at the time, because I was doing 3 episodes of The Road to Davenport. Well, technically 2. But you never notice it from the way I presented myself in videos. You'd only really see it if you asked me about it, and no one knew what was going on at the time. And it all came to a head during the summer because I remember, I don't know what I saw. Actually, no, I do remember what I saw. I'm not going to say it out loud. I just remember what I saw. And I remember feeling this really, I don't know the perfect word to describe it. It wasn't anger, it was rage. And I think there's a really big difference between the two. Anger is just, oh, you're upset at something. You know, you're angry, you're mad, but you're not really doing anything about it. Like, you complain about it for a little bit, and then you're usually over it after like a couple like hours or minutes, and then you laugh it off, whatever. This was so much worse. This was anger to a very dangerous point. Nothing of like self-harm or anything. No. It was anger to a point where I got so mad that I physically lost touch, not of where I was, but I lost touch with reality for like 2 seconds, and then I took a really sharp breath. Now, if any of you know what it feels like to hold your breath for a really long time, you start to struggle. And obviously we do it for fun. This wasn't fun. Like, there's a difference between holding your breath underwater in a pool and seeing who can come up the fastest versus forgetting to breathe because you are genuinely filled with some of the worst anger you've ever felt in your life. This wasn't anger to a screaming, yelling, cussing point. This was silent. This wasn't me screaming at my phone or punching the wall next to me. This was an anger that was so bad that I physically forgot to breathe. That's how bad this got. I was so pissed at what I was seeing on my phone that I forgot to do this. I forgot to breathe. And by the time I was breathing, because it was only like 2 seconds, because it was like, you understand that feeling of like, oh wait, shit, I need to breathe now. That's what I felt. And then I realized that that flame had been building for the past year and a half. And now it had grown into what I'd like to describe as a basketball-shaped fire inside of me, in my chest. Like, when you're angry, you can feel it. You don't suddenly burst into flames, but you know what I mean. It's like this sudden, overwhelming urge to scream, but I didn't do that. I kept it in. And thank God I kept it in. Because it made me realize something. All the hate comments, all the fake accounts telling me that I'm never going to do anything, all the accounts mocking me, all the people screwing me over, that's not a bad thing. It was fuel. It pushed me to bust my ass harder than I ever have. It pushed me to realize that what I was doing was not working. That is not going to be enough to make Davenport. You cannot get by doing the bare minimum expecting to get the maximum. That's not how life works, and that's never how life works. When you have a goal, regardless of what it is, you have to work to be able to get it done. That's how it is. And so many people, they don't see the work that I put in. They don't see the hundreds of shots that I'm taking. They don't see the journaling that I'm doing, writing down my progress. And that's fine. You don't need to. But I'm not going to sit here and let some certain type of people that I won't really say out loud, I'm not going to let people who will probably do nothing with their lives and live a life of complacency and irrelevancy, I'm not going to let them tell me what I can and can't do. You know, I actually got a text this past week telling me that I'm trying to accomplish the impossible. And it was funny because it was coming from that specific person. Now, this next part of the video, I'm not really talking to any of my supporters. I'm specifically talking to the imbeciles that keep thinking that I'm going to quit and that I'm going to fail. Specifically 2 people, but like I won't tell them by name. They just know I'm talking to them. The thing you have to understand in this world is that nothing lasts. Except one thing. Relationships, friendships, people, items, they all have an expiration date or they are of no use. Everything does except a legacy. You know, what you do in this world matters. How you make people feel matters. What you do for other people and what you do to other people matters. For me, making Davenport, this isn't some impossible, daunting task that I'm going to have to rally myself up to do. This isn't some stupid motivational story. This is a redemption story because I wasted 6 months, and more than likely more, wasting my life doing nothing of note, doing nothing to better myself, doing nothing to put my friends in a better place, doing nothing to put my family in a better place. You ever think about that? You ever think that maybe this just isn't about me, this is about what I can do for other people? I mean, the main goal is for me, but I'm not going to just sit here and act like I've done it all myself. What I'm doing isn't impossible, because it's only a matter of time before I put a Davenport jersey on. It's only a matter of time before I go down as the greatest Davenport Panther that ever lived. It's only a matter of time before I change the culture of Davenport and change the way people think about the college. It's only a matter of time before I skate to center ice, shake the commissioner of the NHL's hand, and lift this 35-pound trophy known as the Stanley Cup over my head. This isn't like trying to breathe in outer space, or it's not trying to walk on water, because guess what? I'm not Jesus Christ. I'm Dominic freaking Gibbs, and what I'm doing isn't impossible. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. And just to make sure everyone's on the same page with me, have you ever met someone who was so determined to accomplish a goal that he'd die for it? Have you ever met someone who was willing to risk his life for a sport that doesn't care about him just so he can say, I told you so? Do any of you have that? Would you risk your life for your profession? Would you do it? Could you sit there and tell yourself, I would die for the sport that I'm playing. I would die for the career I'm pursuing? Would you say that to yourself? The answer is probably no. So let's get one thing straight. This isn't some impossible, daunting task that I'm never going to be able to accomplish. It's inevitable. It's a matter of time. This has never been a matter of if I make Davenport, but when. So for you two, I really hope you're paying attention. Because when I'm living the life that I'm living in 5 years, and you're living the life that you are in 5 years, please look back at this video for reference. What's really the impossible thing we're trying to accomplish here? Welcome to the era. Oh, and by the way, I'm not obsessed with people. I'm the absolute best. I'm too good for that.
It's not music. Two different things. Music is everywhere. Always. And to ever tell a person, especially a young person, that they can't sip from that well is a crime. They should sip. They should guzzle.
Aw, Dominic told me the truth on Instagram, and now my feelings are hurt. Aw, poor baby. Wanna file? Shut up. Grow up. What? You can't handle people saying negative things about you? Because I've been dealing with it for 18 freaking years. Grow up. God.